So first up for our cursive numbers is 1. And here it is. And now I could have had the one like this, but that looks kinda like a 7, and so yeah, so instead I had it curve around and go out, kinda like on the lowercase cursive Q, like that. And also we have a lead-in stroke, which is typical on ones, and yeah, so there's 1, and here's what a number like 11 would look like. It kinda does look like a 66, but you kinda can still tell that it's an 11. So, yeah. So next up we have 2, which looks like this. And so yeah, it kinda does look a little bit like an H, but it shouldn't be that bad, because with an H, for the staff, you go inward and you don't just curve in like this. And also, I decided to have the bottom look like this, because if it was straight, then it would just be like this, and that doesn't really look good. So I made the bottom curvy, and here's what a 22 would look like. And when you write a 22, both of the 2's look even more like H's, but they're not exactly, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, then the third, we have the number 3, which looks like this. And yeah, I don't really need any real explaining for this. And also here's 33. And I kind of find it funny that when you write a 33 or any number that ends in the digit 3, the 3 does look like a B, but B's do have that lead-in stroke, so it's just like the 2, not really that big of a problem. And okay, so after 3 comes 4, which is this, which I don't need any explaining on. But except for the fact that I could have had it be pointy like this, but that doesn't really look cursive. And also I had the cup of part of the 4 be connected to the staff instead of them just being 2 separate objects, and more like how I write it. And next up is, it kind of looks, it's kind of strange when you see it, but once I explain it, then it won't feel that strange. And so here's 5. Yeah, so for the bottom part, I kind of had a similar thing where it looks, where it's like the bottom part of the 3. Now, what is kind of strange about this 5 is that I did not do the hat of the 5, like how it's usually written like this. And first off, when I designed it, I had it look like this. I don't know if this is exactly what it looked like, but this is kind of like how my first version of the Cursive 5 looked like. And this, it just kind of looks weird like this. And also, if you look at the cursive T, here's the cursive T, an uppercase T. Well, obviously, I did not write it that good, but this is kind of what it looks like. Now, the regular printed T looks like this, and it has that top part like the 5, and yeah, for the cursive T, this little thing, this hook at the bottom, represents this part of the T. This part right here, this lead-in stroke, represents this. But for this, it's not really like a line going out, but I would say that this loop does represent this part of the T, and I think I can kind of better show this with an F, with a lower and uppercase F. With an uppercase F, you have that same thing, you just have it loop around, and then you have it like that, whereas an uppercase F, it's just like that. So I think it kind of makes sense not to include that top hat of the 5, and also I think it like is fitting for kind of like the flow of cursive. And also I want to point out, some people write their 5s like this. In fact, most people do that. They have the hat and the hook and this thing part right here has two different strokes. I don't like it like I don't draw it like that. I do it like this. I just have it all in one stroke. But I still did it like this because this way seems more casual. And also, here's what a 55 would look like. And also, I forgot to show you the 44. So I think out of like 44, out of like all the 55, the 33, the 22, or the like 11, I think when you have two of it, like of the four right next to each other, you can definitely really tell that it's a 4. And so, yeah. Okay. Okay, now, wait. What comes after 5? Like there's, you know, like, it starts with an S. It's right before 7. Yeah, okay, so we have 6 and we have 7. Okay, so now here's the 6. Now you might already be saying that's just a lowercase cursive b, but let me say something. The lowercase cursive b looks like this, but it's not like you write the lowercase printed b like this. Yeah, although I used to write it like that. You write the cursive b, no, you write a printed lowercase b like this. So I think that we should keep the 6 looking like this, and we should change the lowercase cursive b, and it should look like this. Because, yeah, so there, and also here's what a 66 would look like. And, okay, so next up is 7, and I don't really need to explain anything with this, but it kind of does look like a Y, but it looks more like a lowercase y than it does an uppercase. And an uppercase y is more like this, where you have it curve in, and you don't have a point and have it go in. You have it like this. And also with a cursive Y, and like in one of his videos from also on Pixel, a cursive Y goes below the line, and I'm definitely sounding like Pixel right now, and I'm not trying to, but here's what a 77 would look like. I can draw that better. So, yeah. Okay, so next up is 8, which looks like this. Now, I could have had it, like, look like, no. I could have had it, look like this, and sure, people do write their 8s like this, but I don't write my 8s like that. I write my 8s like this, where I connect it back, the stroke back at the crossing, and I don't do it at the top, and as you can see, when I wrote out 2-digit numbers, like this, the lead-out strokes would connect with the lead-in strokes, like, at the middle, and they would connect to each other at the middle, just like, lowercase letters in cursive do. They connect in between at the midpoint. It's supposed to be like this. Yeah, they can. So that would kind of like ruin the flow of my cursive letters, so that's why it does not look like this. And now, and then after 8 comes 9, obviously, which looks like this, and you know, some people write the 9 like this, but okay, now it kind of seems like I'm completely copying Pixel's video, but anyway, some people write the 9 like this, but I write it like this. So does Pixel, and also I don't want to completely like copy Pixel's video, so I'm not gonna like say, oh, people don't write 6 like this, and so when you see like 9, like the number 9 on like a newspaper, the 9 looks like this. You almost never see a 9 that looks like this, like on a newspaper casually. So I'm not doing it like this way, and also if I did do it that way, it would look like this, and that doesn't really like feel like a 9 does. So I did not have it like this, and also it kind of explains a lot why I did the 6 like this, like a lowercase b. I did have it differently, like when I was thinking of making the video, like earlier today, I was having it like this, like I explained. I don't remember if I went over this or not already in the video, but this doesn't really look that good. And also, so I changed the 6 to be like this, so that it would be more consistent with the 9, because 6 and 9 are just inverted like this. And also, here's what a 99 would look like. So yeah, and then last but not least, this is kind of weird. This is actually the first number, although I just had 1 first. But last we have 0. So, yeah, obviously I didn't have it like this, because that's an O. So, yeah, and here's what, like, 2 zeros would look like side by side. Although, you would never really see it like that, so, like, here is like a number like 10, like, or like, yeah, so, okay, there, okay, so, so there are all the cursive numbers that I designed, and obviously you can all put them together, like, to create, like, new numbers, like 23, like, or like 12, or like you can do like 45, like, as I explained, you would just connect them together like you would do for cursive letters. And if you like wanted to do a 4-digit number like this, what you would do is that you would have it like this. You would have it not connect, you would have a comma, then you would do it like that. So, like, yeah, you wouldn't have, so you would always connect the letters back to the numbers back to front, just like you would do with, like, letters like that. But if there's ever a comma, you would have no connection. So, yeah. So that concludes my video on cursive numbers. And this video was very similar to like Pixel's video, so yeah, so I'm giving credit to him. And also, if you didn't like any of my designs for the numbers, just so you know, you can just like make your own video like on this too. Like, I'm fine if you like use my idea. So yeah, bye.